All right, we're live. Welcome to today's Video Guys NewsDay Tuesday. Tuesdays at 2 p.m. We're going to give you a webinar talking about all the great products we sell. We sell video editing, video streaming, and video live production products. Today's webinar is going to be about live production. It's going to be about the Wirecast Gear live production systems. We've told you a lot about these products. They've been featured in other videos. Right now, Wirecast has a great program going for people who don't own anything. It's the Wirecast Gear promo. And basically what we're going to give you is a free gift card with a Wirecast Gear. Let's talk about what that is exactly. 10% rebate Visa gift card promo. So the Wirecast Gear, the base unit with 4 HDMI inputs, is normally $49.95. You're going to get a $500 gift card fulfilled directly from the folks at Telestream. If you decide to go for SDI, we have the Wirecast Gear 210. Which is $59.95, and you get a $600 gift card. And then there's also the new Wirecast Gear 230, which we're going to go into a little bit more in depth later on in this webinar. Is normally $79.95. You can get an $800 gift card. And you can use that gift card to buy more stuff from us. You can buy your wife a present. You can buy your kids something. Go out and take someone out on a trip or buy a vacation. Whatever you want to do with that gift card, it's your business. I don't want to know. We just want you to buy a Wirecast Gear. All right. Wirecast Gear is based on the Wirecast Pro software. What's so good about Wirecast Pro software? It is extremely easy to use. It'll let you stream to multiple CDNs. So you get support for Facebook Live, YouTube Live, right from the software itself. Plus you can go multiple live services up to what your bandwidth will handle. So right now we're using Wirecast Gear and we're going live to Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Periscope all at the same time. You get full NDI support. So the Wirecast Gear can be used as an output to other NDI enabled devices, or it can be used to be an input with other NDI devices. So you've seen we've done shows on products like the NewTek Connect Spark, the NewTek NDI PTZ camera. The PTZ camera, you can bring those cameras directly into Wirecast. The folks at Telestream are part of the NDI community. NDI is the technology that lets you link all your video production products together using gigabit Ethernet. No more HDMI, no more SDI cables. All right. You also get ISO recording. ISO recording means you can record the actual output from all the cameras, as well as you can record your final recording of your output. And you also get the rendezvous feature, which allows you to bring in remote guests into your Wirecast productions. You can talk to people who aren't in the studio. So Wirecast Pro is a great product, $1,000 value in and of itself. One of the things that we love about the Wirecast Gear is that it uses the Wirecast Pro software, which you can download and get a free trial. I think this is really important. If you're going to be getting into video streaming, it's nice to be able to download some software, play with it, get the hang of it. You can take and download the free trial software to Wirecast. You can put it on a PC or a Mac, laptop or desktop. You can use your laptop's built-in webcam, and you can start doing and playing around with the interface, messing around, creating lower thirds, trying out the chroma key, doing whatever you want to do. You can capture a little bit of video, and you can call that camera 2, capture some more video, call it camera 3. You can play around with it so you can get the feel of the interface, which is also very good because it means if you're going to have people learning how to use your Wirecast Gear, you don't have to actually train on the Gear box. You can have them download the software as well and play with it to get the hang of it. So the fact that there's a trial version to Wirecast is real important, especially if you're a church, government, or educational agency where you're buying this unit, you're not sure who's going to be using it. You can always download the trial version and have them play with it. Also, there's a ton of great training and support. Now, Wirecast Gear, Wirecast Software, I got to stress this. You don't need a PhD in video production to run this software. It's very easy and straightforward. You don't have to get all certified with crazy kind of rigor and stuff like that. It's a straightforward and easy to use interface that actually, if you start playing with it and watch maybe the first 4 or 5 video tutorials on getting started from the Wirecast website, you're going to be up and running. You'll have no problem doing a 2-camera shoot, bringing in 2 cameras, doing some lower thirds, some graphics, some chroma key, green screen if you want, transitions, multiple audio sources. It's very easy to use. It's not the interface isn't like a production switcher. The interface is more what people who use Windows and use video programs are used to. So we find that like when you're letting a young kid who's got some experience with computers or you're a bit of a computer person, you're going to have no problem getting your hands on the Wirecast interface and being able to fly with it. It's really very simple and easy to use. Okay, one of the questions we get asked all the time, let's bring this up full screen, Eddie, is why Wirecast Gear? Well, there are other softwares you can buy, including Wirecast, which you can run on a box that you can build yourself, and that's fine. We used to, back when our focus was video editing, we would call these DIY, white box machines, and we love to tell people, this is the computer you could get, build this computer, it'll work great, but in the days of nonlinear editing, if the computer had some hiccups or something, it was a little frustrating, it bothered you, maybe you came close to missing a deadline, you slipped on a deadline, but live video is a little bit different. If your live video production box goes down, you're out of business. You don't have a live video. They're not getting married again for your convenience, the kids aren't putting the play on again for your convenience, and they're not replaying the inning because your stream went down. So when you're dealing with a custom PC solution, a white box solution, you're making your own box to run Wirecast or other software on, you got to remember, you got to be really careful about matching the software correctly. You got to make sure you get the right capture cards in there and that they're fully supported, that you're using the right drivers at any given time, because a new driver can mess things up with the compatibility with the NLE software, with the video streaming software. We hear about that all the time. Your point of tech support, should something go wrong, well, it's not my fault. You know, the Wirecast guys say, well, it's not my fault. It's the capture card people. Call Blackmagic. Call someone else. You know, it's their card that's the problem, or it's their software. It's the graphics card you have is wrong. You know, these are things that happen when you roll your own, and any update that comes into your system puts your whole system at risk. Wirecast Gear is configured, optimized, and tested for Wirecast Pro. You get HDMI inputs, you get SDI inputs, or you can have assignable I/O, but you pick the inputs that you want that are going to work best for you. And I want to remind you that Wirecast Pro supports NDI, so not only you get your HDMI and SDI inputs, you get also NDI inputs, which you can bring into the Wirecast Gear. Can't stress this enough, the advantage of having it be single source of support from Telestream and then from Videoguys. It's one solution. No one's going to point the finger at anyone else that, you know, it's their fault or you did this wrong thing or you put this wrong driver in. Try doing this, try doing that. This system is built, tweaked, optimized by Telestream for Wirecast from the ground up. Pardon me. It's also pre-configured to not install automatic updates, so you don't have to worry that some auto update's going to install overnight or while you're about to do your program and mess the whole thing up. So I really want to stress this with the Wirecast Gear, folks. And I don't want to talk about the negatives. I want to really talk about the positives of the Wirecast Gear. That's why I brought this next slide up with the same information that I already reviewed. If you're getting Wirecast Gear, yes. If you want to use Wirecast, you can build your own computer, and I said you can, and you certainly can. You can build your own computer for other video streaming products, software as well. But the advantage of the Wirecast Gear is it is a turnkey solution. It's an appliance. Now, if you're a church and you're thinking about adding live web streaming, the beauty of the Wirecast Gear is you get the thing set up, and then you can allow anyone to operate it. You don't have to worry that the only person, you don't have to be a techie or an IT guy to make it run. If you can run the Wirecast software, you can run the Wirecast Gear. It's really that simple. And because you're buying it for your organization, maybe you're a government agency, maybe you're a school and different kids are going to be using it, you want to know that the hardware is never going to be your concern. You're just going to know that you turn on the box, it boots up, and it works. Wirecast Gear is a rock-solid product. In addition, if you want to edit your videos, you can edit your videos using the same Wirecast Gear box. So you could put Adobe Premiere on it, certainly. You could put on Magic Vegas, or you could put on Grass Valley Edius. In fact, we offer some great deals on Edius if you want to add Edius to your Wirecast Gear. And why Edius and Wirecast Gear go together so well is Edius is just really good for that same-day editing, news-type editing. Have to turn it around. It's really built for fast turnaround, stuff like that. So the Gear box can also be your NLE box. When we spoke to the folks at Wirecast, this must have been a couple of years ago, they were thinking about coming into a solution like this. And one of the things we talked about them was, as I said, you know, guys, I think this product's a great idea. And I want to ask you a question. You know, when you look at the tech support calls and the tech support you get on your forums, I go, what percentage of it has to do with hardware and hardware compatibility? They started laughing. One of the guys said, 100%. I said, Well, I mean, it's not 100%, but that's exactly what the problem is. People try to cobble these systems together using whatever off-the-shelf parts they can find, and they don't know which part is going to be, and you don't know which part's going to be the weak link that's going to make the whole thing not operate properly. Do you have enough RAM? Do you have the proper cooling? You know, is your graphics card right? With Wirecast Gear, it's all optimized for you. It's tweaked out. It is a phenomenal solution. Set it and forget it. Fire it up, run it, and you have Wirecast Pro ready to go. You don't have to worry about that you're going to add too many graphics, too many layers of video, too many special effects, too many chroma keys, you're going to crash it. Everything that Wirecast can handle, the Wirecast Gear can deliver, and that's super important. All right, so what is Wirecast Gear? To go over the whole thing, it is a complete Windows 10 Pro. It's a Windows 10 PC built for Wirecast Pro. Easy to set up and use. You get a professional live production system with audio mixing, video switching, compositing, transition, graphics, titles, and more. I want to go into something that's not on a slide, but it's important to have before the next slide. I mentioned this a little bit, but if you're getting into heavier duty streaming, I mean, a lot of people are streaming straight to YouTube or Facebook from their phone, and you know, that's okay for kids or some people, but let's face it, if you're a Videoguys customer, if you're watching this video, you appreciate production quality. You own a high quality camera because you understand it produces better video. Well, part of what you get with this whole Wirecast Gear solution is the ability to take advantage of your prosumer or your professional camera. You can use PTZ cameras, you can use a point and shoot camera, but now what you're going to do is you're going to get a solution that you can easily use as the operator without the complexity that those solutions have. And there are a lot of solutions out there that are more difficult to use than Wirecast. I can't stress enough how easy Wirecast is to use, and if you don't believe me, download the trial software and see for yourself. The Wirecast Gearbox is optimized for this software, and if you're thinking about putting it into different, let's go right into this slide. Who needs the Wirecast Gear? Well, it's great in education. Why? In an educational setting, maybe your kids want to do a news program, maybe you want to produce the plays, maybe you want to produce graduation, maybe some of the sporting events that are going on at the basketball arena, and maybe you want to use it to do your Board of Ed meetings. Whatever multi-purpose uses you're going to use for it, that's where Wirecast Gear is great. It can go to whatever room you need to set it up in, set up the cameras, plug it into your networking so you can get it out on the internet and stream away. Stream away to the CDN that you want. It could be Facebook, it could be YouTube, it could be Periscope, it could be a custom CDN, it could be just something that you set up on an RTMP server like Wowza that's internal just to your own school district or just to your own school buildings. It's great for education. It's great for K through 12. It's also fantastic for higher education, for the big schools. Maybe your school has some big professional switching systems costing $50,000, $100,000, $250,000. But you just want a system that's kind of portable and transportable. You can move to wherever the production needs to be, and you can easily set it up and use it and get it going. That's where this Wirecast Gear comes in. It's really so small and light. Houses of worship. I mentioned houses of worship. This is the #1 place where we're seeing Wirecast Gear really being getting some penetration, where people are really buying it. One of the main reasons why we think people are buying Wirecast Gear is the ease of use and the fact that once you set it up in your house of worship, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be babied, it doesn't have to be played with. Once you put the settings in, they stay. And the other thing is that, I mentioned this before, but by downloading the Wirecast software, you can have someone new. If you know someone new is going to be operating the Wirecast Gear in a couple of days or a couple of weeks or next week's service, they can practice on the Wirecast software on the trial version, which is really great and easy to do. And you know, when you're in a worship situation, oftentimes the people operating the software and the cameras are all volunteers. So you're going to want something in your facility that's very easy for new people to pick up and to be able to produce. Sure, you can get to make some real complicated, real crazy, phenomenal multi-camera productions with Wirecast Gear. Make no mistake about it. But you can also do some very simple, easy stuff at your fingertips and still have it look great with those things that separate your video from a point and shoot. Multi-camera, switching, maybe some chroma key, certainly lower thirds, bringing in graphics, bringing in multiple audio sources. The other place where we're seeing Wirecast Gear is really taking off is in live event production. This event can be used in a small concert hall. Maybe you got a bar where you want to be able to have people perform and you want to see them play. You do the video through the Wirecast. You have all the mics and the sound come into a soundboard. You have the soundboard for your Wirecast Gear, and now all of a sudden you're producing live shows from your venue. It's good for live events if you're doing wedding and events. If you're a wedding and event videographer, I know that business has been a little tough, a little difficult. Some of you guys are getting real smart and you're getting into doing live streaming, live production. A Wirecast Gear is a great choice. You know, you have hardware that's rock solid and optimized and easy to use, where you can hire someone who can be your operator very easily. You can take the same feeds from the cameras that you're using in the room to shoot some of the video, and you can maybe have the ceremony go live. You know, so grandma and grandpa in Phoenix can see the wedding that's taking place in Los Angeles or Chicago. So streaming's a big deal. Live events are cool. I mentioned sports a little bit when I talked about education. Television and radio, obviously, if it's kids doing a television show or a professional television show for a local station or a local group, an interest group that wants to talk about what's going on, it's great to do. And then also, you know, digital marketing and social media. And that's something that's really, you know, the youngins to say. But it's amazing how many... by young people, I'm going to say, I want to say millennials. I want to say people in that demographic of 20 to 35 years old. They've always been in a digital world. Social media has always been a part of their life. Well, a lot of them are creating their own YouTube channels or Facebook groups and things like that, where they're using a single camera where they're talking to people about it, but they want to go and do something bigger, something better. Well, adding a Wirecast Gear to your repertoire, now being able to do a multi-camera shoot where maybe you have multiple guests in the room, where you want to cut camera to me to the other person, you want to have a camera on location, you want to show different people, different views, different angles. That's where a Wirecast Gear can really let you take your production to the next level and maybe help you build an even bigger and broader audience. And with the Rendezvous tool, you can actually bring in people to your social media show who are your viewers, to have them participate, or friends or people who are doing other YouTube sites and other Facebook groups and things like that. So for social media and digital marketing, Wirecast Gear is another great choice. And once again, you can use the box to edit the videos too. So just because we're doing a 15-minute show doesn't mean you want to put a 15-minute video necessarily on YouTube or on your social media or on Instagram. You can easily edit it down to a 1-minute show using any of the titles I talked about before, but I'll say them again: Adobe Premiere Pro, Magix Vegas, Edius, even Avid. All right, I want to go into some of the differences between the various boxes that are offered by Wirecast on the Wirecast Gear. There's 3 models. There's the 110, the 210, and the 230. Main differences, if you see on the chart, is your I/O. Your 110 gives you 4 HDMI inputs. Your 210 gives you 4 SDI inputs. And the Wirecast Gear 230 actually gives you 4 inputs that are your choice of SDI or HDMI. So people love that. You get dual gigabit connections, so you can have redundancy or extra bandwidth. And as you can see from the whole thing, you're getting, it's a full computer. It's giving you Windows 10, you're getting USB connectivity, you're getting Wi-Fi, you're getting multi-track, multi-language. Let's talk about network inputs. Yes, you get support for NDI because it's IP. But the main difference between these units on this slide is the top rows, guys. It's HDMI, SDI, or your choice. Then what we also look at is when you get down to the bottom of the comparison sheet, you're going to see that there's some additional differences, and that is the amount of storage in the unit. The HDMI version, to hit that $5,000 price tag, has a little bit less storage. It gives you 2 250 gigabyte SSDs. Still more than enough storage to do multiple 1-hour shows with multiple cameras, because it is compressed video that's coming in to the stored on the SSDs, and the SSDs can handle multiple streams easily for your ISOs. The 210 is going to give you a 500 gigabyte and a 250, and then the Wirecast Gear 230 actually gives you 2 terabytes of SSD. So it's the big kahuna. That's for the people who are in the highest level of production, who also want I/O, where it's inputs and outputs. One of the things that a lot of people have told us and told the Telestream folks is that they'd like to have a control surface like other products have. Wirecast is not planning on coming out with their own control surface, but I have been told that either in December or January this year, they plan to announce that they're going to have compatibility with multiple control surfaces from multiple vendors. As soon as that happens, we'll bring those to you, and hopefully we'll be able to get in touch with those vendors and bring you some cool bundles with both. So I want to go back to the chart. Just as you can see, your I/O is your biggest difference between the units. The 210 at $4,000 gets you a $500 gift card. The 110 gets you a $500 gift card. The 210 is $59.95, gets you a $600 gift card. And the 230 gets you, at $799.95, gets you an $800 gift card. All right. want to go into that 230 a little bit more. There used to be a product called the 220, which was a little bit of a step-up product. They've replaced that product with the 230, which really delivers a whole lot more. Number one, you're going to get Wirecast Pro. You're going to get Gear support for 3 years. You get 4 assignable HDMI or SDI I/O ports. You're going to get the 250 gigabyte system drive and 2 terabytes of storage. And you get the New Blue Titler 3 complete. So that's real exciting stuff. I think it's very important to go in there. I'm looking back because I think we got a mistake. I think we're on Wirecast 9, but this says Wirecast 8 Pro. But maybe I'm the one who's wrong and I'm having a meltdown here. But you get the latest version of Wirecast Pro, I promise. So I want to review this overall on the promotion. 10% rebate. It's a Visa gift card for you. You can do anything you want with it. Buy a couch with it, go out to dinner with it, buy a camera with it, buy some more video storage. Maybe you're going to buy some LaCie drives and some G-Tech drives. Whatever you want to buy with that money, that's your business. It's a gift card. You get it directly from Telestream. The Gear 110, 4 HDMI inputs for $49.95. The Gear 210, 4 SDI inputs for $59.95. And the Gear 230, 4 assignable SDI or HDMI inputs for $7,995. And that, folks, is going to complete our NewsDay Tuesday program today. Tuesdays at 2 p.m. You give us 15 to 30 minutes. We're going to tell you all about the products we sell. Today's was about Wirecast Gear. It's a great turnkey, optimized live video production solution that lets you go to YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, Wowza Live, whatever you want to go to. You can go to more than one at the same time. You can go to multiples. We're using Wirecast Gear for this show right now to go to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at the same time. Want to stress at Videoguys.com. We're live, people. Give us a call, 800-323-2325. We're here to answer all your questions about these products. We're here to help you understand which product you need, what add-ins you should get, what helps your workflow, what camera should you choose to go with it. Give us a call. We'd love to go over all that stuff with you. We've got live people here who can help you. You can talk to me, you can talk to Jim, you can talk to Eddie, you can talk to Courtney, you can talk to Britt. Give us a call at 800-323-2325. We'll be happy to go over all your live streaming needs. And the Wirecast Gear can meet them all. Wirecast Gear starting at $5,000 with a free Visa gift card. This is Gary from Videoguys.com. Peace.
Videoguys is available Monday to Friday. Give us a call, 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter to stay connected with all our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.